Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale. My bird is with me today, and he's in my face. So anyway, yes, we just had that nice little um Rady reveal, so which we kind of expected. I kind of like expect. I thought he was going to have been around a hell of a lot longer than kind of right before your parents died type of a thing, but still we knew him before, we just forgot about that type of a thing. But also wasn't expecting Rady to have a different name. Like, but anyway, we're now over, we're processing this, so we had to run away, which makes it seem like we're mad at Rady about it, which I'm sure we're not. So, standing in for my parents. I didn't manage to save your parents in the end. I thought I'd at least make up for that by being their stand in. And that maybe we're upset by that because we're like, I don't want you to be a stand in for my parents. I want you to be my lover. Maybe that's kicking us in the face. When Rady said that, pain stabbed into my heart like a knife, and I didn't know why. Yeah, okay, alright. We're so in love with him, and we don't want him to be our, we don't want you to be our parent stand in. I couldn't even remember how to breathe properly. Why does it hurt so much? My own emotions were a mystery to me as my anxiety climbed higher and higher. But that was when. Uh, Are you okay, Spacey? Rady was worried about you. I didn't know how to reply. Spirius smiled gently and continued. You know, not long after you two left, Rady sent me a letter too. He wrote, Spacey found out that I can transform. He also added, but I haven't told her why I hid it, and I have no plans of doing so. After reading that, I mulled over for a long time, wondering if that was really the right choice. But after seeing you today, I made up my mind. We should tell you the truth. Did you know, I actually saw Rady in his human form 10 years ago. Was that when Mom, Dad, and I met Rady at Lieber? Yeah, I remember you all having the time of your lives, and you talked to him back then. Oh, as you talked to him back then, I'm like, what? I can read. It's funny when I say that, because no, we can't. No, we can't. Then, some time passed, and I got a message from Kalita. Miriam minced her words, but that was probably the message informing her of my parents' death. When I welcomed you into my home here, a Fae in beast form came knocking on the door. He told me about everything that happened in Kalita, you see. And when he saw you, couldn't even work up a smile. He asked me something. He asked for permission to stay with you, Spacey. So that's what happened. I don't remember any of this. I managed to recall bits and pieces of my childhood, but everything after my parents' deaths was still vague, as if a fog was hanging over the entire period. And then that Fae claimed I'd met him in his human form before. But he said he couldn't transform at the time for certain reasons, so... At first I was a little suspicious whether he truly was the same man. Miriam muttered that in a joking tone before broadly grinning like always. But Rady was very devoted to taking care of you. And I decided to trust him since he always stayed by your side without fail. Even if we aren't tied together by blood, we're family. Don't you think so too? Yeah, you're right. Though Spirius said that, in my mind I can no longer take it for granted like I used to. How could I? It's my fault that Rady... It's my fault he had to force himself to be my guardian for such a long time. I'll head off to grab some groceries. After all, our customers tonight will surely have hearty appetites. I'll need to stock up on ingredients. As for you, sit down and talk to Rady honestly, okay? Okay. Viria gave me a soft pat on my shoulder before she walked toward the main street. After taking a deep breath, I placed my hand on Lieber's door. When I entered our tavern, I saw Rady, who stood up in a rush. Spacey! Rady moved out to approach me, but stopped himself right away. A moment of silence passed. After he finished choosing his words, he hesitantly spoke. Are you all right? Better than earlier, at least. I see. Brady nodded, again falling mute. I like how they put Relita on there as like his name, or how we're supposed to pronounce it. Listen, I don't know. I don't know where the accentuations go or whatnot, but we just keep calling him Brady. Like, we're never gonna not, like, it's kind of funny. I don't know what to say. Does he feel the same way? Never in my life had I ever been in such a despondent atmosphere with Brady before. After a long while, he let out a whisper. Hey, do you remember? I like it. Do you remember? Remember what? You can't just ask someone, do you remember? There's a lot of things. Like, I love how games like doing this, though. You used to be such a cheerful, expressive child. You'd react to everything you saw. And then after that day 10 years ago, your emotions all up and vanished. Nobody's voice could reach you anymore. I wanted you to smile like you used to, so I told you lots of stories I thought you'd love. But none of them got through. Your face was always completely blank, and I didn't know what to do. I'm thinking that talking wasn't enough. I even started trying to dance. Oh, well, at first I was much sloppier than I am now. Appalling, to be honest. Still, whenever I danced, you'd look at me. Every day I stayed by your side, and slowly but surely, you started lowering the walls around your heart. This makes his route even more adorable, though. You know what I mean? Like, you were the one that broke us free from the walls we imprisoned ourselves in. It's just so romantic and adorable. I love it. And in every other route, you did that for us so that we could fall in love with someone else. Awesome. But in this one, it's so we can fall in love with you. How are you not the common, how are you not the canon route? I don't understand. Like, I'm sure it's because Vilio's got, like, some more, like, plot kind of things, but, like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, we'll have to see what Vilio's route entails, but, like, for me, I'm like, I don't know, Rady. I feel like you should be the canon route just because, you know what I mean? At the moment. Like, listen, we know I love my clown bitch, okay? I know, someone's saying that. Like, what about, I know, but, you know, it doesn't make sense for Zephora or Pashalia or Ion to be the canon route, but I do feel like Rady would make sense, you know? But he's definitely not the poster boy. Vilio is absolutely poster boy, so. I mean, maybe there's really not a canon route for this one, but he's poster boy, and typically poster boys and canon routes are like, in the Venn diagram of routes, there's the nice giant overlap between them. The poster boy is usually more the canon route, if there is one. I'm not sure technically if they would count him in this one as the canon route, but he's the poster boy at any rate. But I guess in a way it's because you can't, I mean, you know Rady transforms, but, you know, and all the, I think on the cover art, I can't see it, it's across the thing, and I can't move because Bird. Okay, Bird is comfortable in sleeping, and we don't disrupt him when he's napping. Especially when I'm recording, because then he's just, like, he stays nice, and he's calm, and it's like, whatever. But I'm pretty sure on the cover art, isn't he in his fluffball form? So, like, even though you know he transforms, it's still like, let's not hone in on that. So you'd have to have him... Actually, I can't see the cover. The cover might actually not have Vilio even being, like, poster boy. Huh. Trying to think about it off the top of my head now. Anyway, whatever. I feel like Rady is leaning into the canon territory, even if nobody's a canon route. He's a little more canon leaning, I guess. Anyway, and around the 5-year mark, I think he smiled faintly and clapped for me. When I saw that, I didn't know why, but I was the one who teared up. Remember that, too. He'd always kept me company, cared about me, and learned new tricks for my sake. I could feel his warmth right beside me, and I've been really, really happy. Even now, I can remember how I felt in that moment, like it was yesterday. I used to think you were the one who bloomed the chloris on that day, but Well, maybe my emotions were part of it as well. Hearing that last whisper, I'm sure they were. I feel like I'm sure they were. I don't want to just not say anything. I feel like you have to say something. Yay! I'm sure they were. Hoping and wishing that was the case, I nodded at Rady. I thought that I could never make a Chloris bloom. Even the idea was ridiculous to me, but if that's true, then I'm happy. Huh? Why do you sound so convinced you couldn't? I didn't mean... Well, I'm a guy with a quirky and jaded personality. I seem like I have nothing to do with stuff like pure elation, right? I don't agree at all, personally. This reaction seemed a bit strange for him. It was unlike his usual jokes. Must be overthinking it. Surely. Nope, there's gonna be more! Because this is still technically the common route. After that day, your emotions steadily surfaced, and you even started talking. But the older you grew, the more obsessed you became with being normal, spacey. I would assume, though, at this point, you might be locked into Rady's route, because we obviously never got the scene. And maybe it comes later, but there was, like, when you came back, you had the choice, like, do you stay, do you go out cooking, do you, whatever, cleaning, whatever, and it was only those three choices, I thought, for Pashalia, Ion, and, Zephora. So, I'm thinking, like, at this point, it might be, like, you've kind of branched off already, and you're locked into Rady's route, even though we're not fully in Rady's route yet, but anyway. As a child, you were more excited about special things. A girl that had all kinds of hopes and dreams, I always thought you'd become an adult brimming with curiosity like your parents. I couldn't deny that. Rady's completely right. If I sought out something extraordinary, I'd stumble somewhere along the way. I might lose something precious again. This looming, faceless fear had always lurked in a corner of my heart. But look what we did with Circus, though. It was probably because the memories I'd locked away, my sorrow over the loss of my parents, had influenced me without my realizing. Before I went on this journey, I even thought that extraordinary things were scary. But someone like me wasn't enough to patch up all your wounds, huh? To fill in the shoes of your parents was impossible for me. Part of me wanted to deny that with fervor, but another part of me was screaming that I didn't want Rady to fill any parental role. My heart was in a mess, and it hurt. Rady, thanks for always staying by my side. And sorry I didn't manage to recall everything until now. That's fine. That's not that big of a deal. I was hiding it after all. But it must have been so much work trying to take care of me in that state. Even if that's true, there's no way I could have left you alone. Rigel and Miria helped me out a lot after all. Brady's voice was gentle as he replied, but the aching in my heart wouldn't go away. Was he only with me out of a sense of obligation? Did he do all of that for my parents and not because he wanted to? At any rate, don't you worry. I'll always be around to keep an eye on you until the day you find your happiness in life. Although, now, doesn't this make you're like, this statement, like, I'll always be here until you find your happiness in life. Like, and then it's like, you find your happiness with Zephora, Pershalia, or Ion, and he's like, okay, bye. And you're like, I know you're not, like, saying this because, like a best friend route where you're like, I'm totally in love with you, and then you break his heart, but there's something about this thought, hearing this, and then thinking to the other routes, and it's like, it breaks my heart a little. I know it's not breaking your heart in the same way, but I feel like my heart is broken because I feel like I'm breaking your heart, even though I know I'm not really, because you're not exactly in love with me. But, like, goddamn. Ouch. Damn, game, what the fuck? Before today, I'd have readily felt touched by those words, yet I used to think that Rady was staying by my side out of choice. He's very precious to me, and I thought he was with us because he felt the same way. Oh my god, I like that this little misunderstanding here. It's like, oh, he is. You're just, oh, you guys. I'd never, not even once, seen him as a stand-in, a substitute for anyone else. Tell him that. But I might be the only one bothered by this fact. Rady, you used to freely roam Eshelita before you met us, right? Then I ended up chaining you down for an entire 10 years. No, that's not. You tagged along on my journey with Circus because you couldn't leave me alone. Because you're my stand in parent, right? We'd lived together for years, but did Rady stay with me because he wanted to from the bottom of his heart? If he didn't, my definition of ordinary and everyday that I'd never questioned before would start crumbling. Sorry, Rady. You don't have to force yourself to spend your time on me anymore. You're getting the wrong idea. I wasn't. It's okay. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. Just be honest. I like that instead of like keeping it inside and then misconstruing it and letting it build, she's like, it's okay, you don't have to be my stand-in, you can leave, you don't have to stay. And he's like, girl, that's not what I'm saying. Like, but we're not letting him finish his sentences. My heart felt like it was being constricted. I couldn't stop my words from coming out. And from now on, I'll make sure to call you Relita. Don't worry, I'll explain to everyone that your name is actually Relita. I did my best to sound normal before I turned my back to him. Hey. When I was with Relita, I always felt like I had nothing to fear. Because she just ran away from him, I think. All right, you laughed. Great success. Back then, when I'd laughed as a child, I saw him hopping around in delight, and I thought, no matter what happens, Rady is with me. But now, even the warm pillar of support he'd been for me back then suddenly seemed shaky. Things my world was built upon were cracking and rattling as they fell apart. Although I do like she communicated her thoughts, and then she didn't listen to him and ran away. All right. You get a half a point for that one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, good, she's expressing what she's thinking instead of just letting it build. But then she won't let him finish his thoughts and then she runs away. So it's like, well, now you got your thought out, but it's still gonna bubble and build and, like, you know, fester in there because you didn't let him go. Like, no, you got the wrong idea. I enjoy being here. Like, I also do like the I won't call you Rady anymore. And it's like, oh, that's gonna be like a slap to him. He's like, no, but I like that. That's special. And you're taking away my nickname and like, aw. This is good. The angst. There's kind of some angst going on here, and it's like it's a good angst. Because you know it's gonna work itself out. Like there's some games where you're like, stop it, it hurts, and you're like, this hurts, but it's kind of cute and like misunderstanding-y and like it's fluffy angst. I don't know. Like, it hurts a little, but I know it'll be okay. There's other times where you're like, I don't know it's gonna be okay. I don't know. I don't trust the game. I trust this game. So this is fluffy angst. So like, you know. I like fluff angst, okay? Like the next day, though the events of yesterday still weighed a bit on my mind. Okay, no. Now everybody's here, but we didn't explain to anyone. But the thing is they put the title, his name is Relita in the thing, but we can skip through it. Like they just, well, okay. As for the lighting when you show up, Relita, I want there to be a moment of pure darkness before all the lights focus on you at once. If we do that, your solo dance will stand out so much more, right, Sorry, Relita. Yeah, sure. I think that stage effect sounds good. But hey, don't force yourself. You can call me Rady like you always have. I want to call you by your real name. He'd introduced himself as Rady and acted as a parental figure all this time. But to me, he was never simply filling some void they left. So, I had reservations about still calling him Rady like I always had. I want to make that difference clear. I know I might be being unreasonable. You're gonna be stubborn about this, huh, Spacey? I get it. If that's what you want, I won't stop you. I mean, I get, like, she's like, no, I'm gonna call you by your real name, and he's like, but there's something, he's gonna be like, please don't, though, because, like, that was special. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, we're taking away that special, it's like, no, I'm gonna call you by your real name, and then he's like, yeah, but, you know, like, we're thinking, oh, it's probably gonna bother you that I'm calling you Rady, even that, because that's not your name, and he's like, no, but that's our nickname, it's like, you know, like, kind of a little point. I just kind of like it. I don't know. Relina smiled, looking a little troubled as he showed respect toward my decision. One thing before I go. His eyes bore into mine, looking earnest as he continued. I'm always on your side, and don't forget that. My heart skipped a beat. I was at a loss for words, and he went away, leaving me behind. I hadn't forgotten. I muttered in a small voice. No. Know that he'll always be my biggest ally. But you're so unfair, Relita. Hearing him say that made me happy. But if he'd made such a statement from the position of some substitute parent, then I wouldn't be happy about it at all. Miss Macy, why are you just spacing out over there? Why does everyone ask me that when my name is Spacey? It's always so funny to me. What? Ginia, when did you show up? And just now. And the big day's right around the corner, so keep working hard, okay? I will. I'll do everything I can. I need to focus on the show right now. Clearing my thoughts, I tore my mind away from the throbbing in my chest. Like, the other ones are definitely... I feel like the angst... Don't worry. I'll do this right. I promise. It'll definitely be a wonderful show. I like how this one is slightly different. I won't betray your hopes. This, I swear. We'll get this right in one go. Now let's show them what we've got. Let's all do our best as a team. We can do this, so don't worry about a thing. It's just really funny how you can tell whose hands are whose. I felt almighty when we stood on the stage. Together, we could do anything. I was surrounded by trusted comrades with whom I shared both joys and sorrows. My lips curled into a grin, and I drew in a deep breath. Then, let us begin. I like how that moment was just, it's showtime! Is it going to be different because it's Rady's route? Because, like, you skip through, but then that little hands-in thing was, like, it popped out. Like, nope. No, okay, so then the scene is the same. Like, but I just like how that little moment was, like, different. It's going to be you need to work harder, I would bet. Oh, no, it's still you have to smile first. What's you need to work harder? You know what the funny thing is? I just realized there was never... Oh, okay, right. Okay, never mind. I was scrolling up and I'm like, there was never a save point. Right, we're not in Rady's route yet. The save point would be... Okay. So it's still you need to smile first. That's interesting. Why is there even a choice here if it's always this one? Anyway. Not that it matters. Whatever. Now we're doing our show. I'm gonna assume it's I can't choose. Because that's what we chose before. Yeah. Okay. So it's always the same things. Alright. Yeah, why aren't you listening? Okay. So it's the same. It's interesting. It's the same choices. I wonder if in Vilios it's different. I'm gonna assume it's keep trying. Yes. Interesting. Huh. Oh. Okay. Yeah. And then there's everyone. You know what it is? It's that picture, that CG with everyone there that I keep, like, in my head. Like, Vilios right front and center, but... Yeah, okay. And then this is where we're like, okay, we're gonna travel around again. And here we go. Oh! It doesn't say Rady, it says Relita. Nice. With the prince joining our group, we decided to set out on another world tour. Considering that, Relita and I returned to Liber and gave Spiria the scoop. Gonna go on a trip to help His Highness grow, are ya? Mm-hmm. He really wants to hit the road, so we're heading out tomorrow. I know we just got back and all, but... I paused to take a deep breath, feeling a little giddy. I really want to go. Now that I've come this far, I want to help His Highness grow until the end of our journey. It's been wonderful bringing happiness to so many people around the world. Spiria cracked a warm smile. You have finally found a place where you can follow your passion and truly shine. Rigel and Miria had the same look in their eyes whenever they got real immersed in their research. Oh, how I wish they could see this. Mom and Dad did? Uh-huh. And that's why I'm not gonna stop you. Good luck out there, girlie. You got an important mission. Thanks, Spiria. When I hugged Spiria, I was enveloped in the cozy scent of honey. While the thought of leaving her again made me sad, I was delighted she supported my choice and wished me well. I can't say I'm not going to be worried about you, but your friends will be there. Besides, Relita will tag along for the ride, right? The fact that he's dead silent and has a look on his face like, is questionable makes me sad. Relita said nothing, looking solemn. What's the matter? At my prompting, he spoke up. I'm against this new trip. Huh? But why? Having the prince with us means way more responsibility. I gotta keep him out of danger and also be more formal than usual. This trip won't be as carefree and comfy as the last one. What's gotten into you all doom and gloom out of nowhere? You're right, things will be different with the prince in tow, but I still want to go on the trip with you and the others. Remember what I told you? I promised Rigel and Miria I'd take care of you. We're doomed if something bad happens. Let's just set this one out, okay? Before the show, you told me you're always on my side. Were you lying then? No, I wasn't. But I doubt your parents wanted me to go along with all your flights of fancy. That's a parent's duty to keep their child out of danger, right? Oh my god. Are we gonna snap and be like, well, you're not my parents! Girl, this is the time where you snap. Because, like, Relita really just wants to parent me. His words were a thorn in my heart. Of course I can never replace your real parents, but hey, I cherish you as much as they did, so I never want you to be some substitute for my parents. And the funny thing is like, what she's saying, I don't want you to be a substitute for my parents, because I love you and I want you to be my friend and my companion and something else, right? But the way it's going to come across to him is like, you suck and I hate you! You're not my real dad! Oh! What we're saying, what we mean, and what he thinks are two totally different things, but you know it's... Oh, God. Oh, damn. Refusing to listen to another word, I rushed out the door. Hey! Spacey! Oh, now we're others, but are we ready? You told her about what happened in the past because she's all grown up, right? So why can't you put some faith in her and let the girl go on her journey? Look, I've been over this already. I couldn't save Rigel and Miria, so I opted to take care of her in their stead. The whole reason I can't fill their shoes is because I told her about the past. She just said she didn't want you to be her parent. Just be with her like you always do. What are you waffling for? Like, I feel like frickin' Spirit just wants to smack him in the face with a newspaper. Like, turn into your animal form so I can smack you on the nose with a rolled up newspaper and tell you you're a bad chinchilla dog fox thing. I'm not waffling. I am kind of worried, though. Now let me go after her. Running through the town. That background, because it's blurry because we're running, is like fucking with my eyes right now. Once I left Lieber, I ran and ran without stopping. Is he only with me because of his promise to my mom and dad? The thing is they did a really good job with the blurriness, because I feel like as I'm trying to read, like the background's fucking moving and it's tripping me out. He said he cherishes me as much as my parents did. So he sees me as a child? Sadness washed over me in waves, and I didn't even know why. What should I do? Whoa! Oh no, I'm so sorry. I should have watched where I was going. I looked up to see who I'd bumped into at the street corner. Yeah, I'm wondering. Oh, Leon. Nah, don't sweat it. I was being careless too, anyway. Wait, Spacey? It was Leon. Judging by the veggies in his shopping bag, he'd just gone out for groceries. Man, never thought I'd run into you here. Lucky me. Wait, no. This must be fate. Fucking love him so much. I'd usually play along with him, but I didn't have the energy this time. Hey, what's up? You seem down. His sunny expression clouded over with concern. Want to hang out at Cheers? Nobody's there. I closed the pub since I had to go shopping. I still haven't paid my tab at Lieber, so let me give you some free drinks. He flashed me a reassuring smile. For someone who owns several businesses, he can't pay his tab. It's kind of fucking funny, and I love it. Thanks, Leon. Having nowhere else to go, I took him up on his kind offer. Brady'll never suspect I'm hanging out with you! Leon escorted me to Cheers and brewed me a nice hot cup of tea, which helped me relax. No, I need some shots. So then I can be like, I just don't understand. I love him. Why doesn't he love me? And then Leon's like, really? Did you just hear what came out of your mouth? And you're like, what? Whatever. If you went around, I'd love you too, you know? After that, I told him what had happened. He didn't even flinch when I mentioned Rady's real name was Relita. Apparently, he already knew about it since they were longtime acquaintances. Alright, you're shocked because Relita's acting as a stand-in parent out of obligation. Is that it? Yeah. You might be his benefactor's daughter, but I don't think he would have stayed with you for 10 whole years out of some sense of duty. Over the last decade, have you ever felt like he was forcing himself to stick around? I shook my head. See, you know, and this, listen! This is a point in the Leon pile, okay, and why we need a route. Like, he's so flirty and all over us, and you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, which is funny and amusing, and I enjoy it. But right now, he is like, so in the last 10 years, did you ever think he was forcing himself? No. Okay. Voice of reason. Very intelligent man right here. He's not as stupid as he looks. Listen. We have the actual, like, himbo with a heart in Vilio, and this is, like, the smart side piece himbo over here. Like, the flirty himbo. That's what he is. I shook my head. No matter how hard I searched my memories of our time together with Spiria, none of it struck me as insincere. Relita definitely wasn't faking it. I think you're right. That's not the only reason he's staying with us. Is something still bothering you, huh? I nodded. Relita was with me because he wanted to be, not because he felt obliged to do so. That alone should have been enough to quell my anxiety, but it swirled stubbornly in my heart. What was making me feel so unpleasant? In that case, maybe you should try to be honest with your feelings first. What do you mean? Let's see. You consider Relita your family, so why do you hate the idea of him being a substitute for your parents? How am I supposed to answer that? What's so different between a family member and a parent? Why do you hate it so much? Let's take this a little further then. How do you feel when you see his human form? Leon is like a goddamn fucking rocket scientist! Did you see this coming? I mean, like, okay. I absolutely love that we have Zephora, who's actually very intelligent, but emotionally stunted and doesn't know how to deal with emotions. That's cute. Typical. That's quintessential for his type of character. Okay. And then we have the flirty himbo over here, Leon. He's a side piece, but he's still the flirty himbo. Okay? Like, Vilio and Leon are like two sides of the impy character. You know what I mean? Like, Vilio is absolutely the little himbo with a heart, but Leon is the himbo who's, like, super flirty and all over you, like Impy was. You know what I mean? They're, like, two pieces of that puzzle. And, like, but I just, and then you have Ginia, who's, like, I guess technically he'd be, like, the flirty Lupin character, right? Because he's, like, the flirty whore character. But he's a side piece, but he also is a little flighty. He's not like the himbo necessarily, where it's like, okay, you're an idiot. He's flighty. But he's not unintelligent. You just don't really realize it because he's intelligent, but he just acts flighty. Okay? But Leon and... Why are we surrounded by idiots? Like... Ion, I don't think is stupid. It's just, you've got, like, you're a bit of a shut-it. You were a slave for so long that you don't, like, know a lot of shit, and it's more like an innocence. He's more, like, sweet and innocent. You're like, you're kind of innocent. And Pashali is also a little, like, naive and innocent, because, like, you've been shut in a tiny little village. So, like, You know, you'd think Rady would actually be the most worldly, but he's a little too, like, drunk to be worldly. You know what I mean? He's actually got more intelligence, but he just keeps his mouth shut. He's just like, yeah, I'm just kind of like the fun guy over here. Poor Zephora. Like, he has to pick up for, like, our two little innocent boyfriends over here who, like, don't know much of the world. You know, they got narrow views, but it's not their fault. It's not like they're idiots or anything. You got the two actual idiots, although Leon is only a side piece, so he's not really in circus, but you got to deal with Vilio. And then you have Ginia, who is actually intelligent, but just doesn't bother using his brains half the time, because he's like, no, I'm going to focus on being pretty. I'm smart underneath, but, like, I don't have time for that. Like, oh my god, we're surrounded by idiots, but I love it. I love it so much. But I love that Leon over here is normally just kind of flirty, fun guy, himbo vibes, and then he's like, all right, let's break this down, because you're clearly, because right now what he's saying to us is, we're clearly an idiot, because we can't figure out our own feelings, and it's written all over our face. I love it. God, I love it so much. This game is so great. Have I mentioned lately how much I love this game? God, it's so good. Anyway. And do you think of him as more than a family member? I gasped when I finally realized what Leon was implying. Unlike his fluffy furball form, human Relita is one fine man. Are you hitting on my boyfriend, sir? Okay. I mean, it's fine. I'll share. Well, with you. Not with other women. We've narrowed this. What happens in the man harem stays in the man harem, okay? I'm just, whatever. You guys want to have little romantic dates and stare into each other's eyes, that's fine. Even I gotta admit he's hot. I love this. I'm here for the... I'm sorry, are you two gonna kiss now? Do we get that CG? Because I'm into it. You two are always together, right? Spacey? Too long of a pause. I can tell you're real close. Stuck to each other like glue wherever you go. You're basically inseparable. But do you think you can treat human Relita the same way you treat furball Relita? Of course I can. We're family. It's not like he's any different when he's human compared to his Fae form, aside from the fact that he's like, really want to get busy with a Fae? In his animal form? Girl, you're kinkier than I thought. And she's like, what? No! And he's like, but you want to bang him when he's in his Hawkeye form? I mean, obviously. Wait, what? My denials only grew weaker and weaker. Look at Leon's face. He's like, don't fuck with me, girl. I'm not as stupid as I look. Oh, I love him so much. God, I love him. Really? How about this, then? Leon reached out to me. No, you can't do this, game! No! Game! You can't do this! Listen, we know me. It's like, okay. Certain games, there are side pieces. Oliver from Pio Fiore, I'm looking at you, motherfucker. Literally, because I have an acrylic stand of him. Purposely, because I love him to death. That's why I go to the Visconti. For Oliver. Sorry, Gil, I like you, but Oliver takes the cake, okay? But, like, listen. There's very few side pieces this game is full of side pieces I want. Game, you cannot throw a sexy Leon CG in the middle of a route and tempt me like this when he's a side piece. The fuck? Actually, you know what? I'll allow it, and I'm happy, because we don't really get cute CGs with our side pieces, where you're like, can I just get a hot CG with my side piece just because I'm never going to get a route with them? But, like, fuck, will you localize the fan disc already? I can't handle this. God, 12 out of 10. Best game ever. Jesus. Oh my god. And I'm sorry, just by this little bit that we're seeing right now, it's going to be, first of all, this just seeing his mouth is ridiculously sexy. The rest of it's going to be gorgeous, too. Jesus. Tipping my chin up with his finger, he leaned in close. Oh, dear God. So close, it was like he was going to kiss me. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Personal space, please. Oh my god, why is he so hot in this? Why are all of the CGs so good in this game? I want to just... My instinct is to be like, I hate it. I hate it because I can't breathe. But I love it. I absolutely love it. But I hate that I can't breathe. Like, game, you're choking me to death. I'm gonna die. Oh. And he looks so good in this CG, and it's so tempting. Because, again, if I didn't already sit there and think, I'd like a route with him. I hope there's one in the fan disc, whatever. This would have, been a slap in the face and been like, yeah, no, we need a route with this man now. I absolutely would have wanted one right here. If I didn't want one before. I want one now. So, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Oh, and they did it so good. Look at him. Damn. This route's unfair because all of Rady's CDs are goddamn perfect, and then you slap this one in there. Guys, I can't handle it. I can't handle this game. This is absolutely. I'm sorry, Code Realize. I love you to death, and there will always be a special place in my heart because you were the first. We played Amnesia Memories first, technically, but Code Realize really kind of stood out and was the game I ranked all of them against. But this tops it. This actually squeaks out above. Code Realize is a very, very, very close, fraction of a second behind it. Don't get me wrong. Because again, fond memories, the nostalgia, steampunk London, I'm into that. But this game for favoritist game and game that I would replay constantly, this is it. This is it. This is the new number one. They're both on the SS rank tier, but this one's just squeaked out a little bit above. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Guys. I need about an hour. Oh my. Now, imagine if it were Relita doing this instead of me. Without thinking, the image grew vivid in my mind. Oh my god, you're not going to give us that CG, are you? If Relita had me in this position, my cheeks burned hot at the thought. I'm so jelly. Why do you make such a cute face when you think of Relita and not me? Like night and day. Stop messing with me! I think we're done here, thanks! Calm down and think about it for a sec. Do you think you'd get this flustered over a mere family member? This would be the best part for, Rady to walk in and be like, the hell are you doing? And get jealous. Or to have seen and been like, I saw you kissing Leon, and we're like, no, he was trying to prove a point that I was in love with you. Misunderstandings on misunderstandings on top of it's the misunderstanding mountain, and I love it. Relita is family, right? And why do I feel this way? I didn't know what was right or wrong, and I love the fact that we're still on this, Suji. I wasn't sure why I'd felt so hurt when Relita professed to be a substitute for my parents. What did I really feel? What was the source of all this turmoil? I could only think of one answer. Oh, I love Convinced, I nearly let the admission slip out. Too late. Ah! Yes! This is what I wanted! Oh, misunderstanding mountain is complete. But he walked right in and he's gonna see that and we're like, in a compromising position. And, I love it. I love it. It hurts so good. Oh, dear God. Because again, it's fluffy angst, so I can handle it. Hey, Leon, is Spacey here? Relita froze the moment he saw the position Leon and I were in. What the hell do you think you're doing? Relita, I'm sorry. I keep wanting to call him right. Relita pulled us apart and grabbed Leon's collar. Hold on, Relita. This isn't what it... I wanted to say it was a misunderstanding, but Leon cut me off. Isn't it obvious? I'm making moves because I got a thing for her. What are you? Leon is a really good wingman. He's so good. Such a good boy. He deserves all the pats in his wolf form. Like a dog, But, seriously, he knows what he's doing right now. He's like, I'm making a move on her. Are you jealous? Maybe you should tell her you love her. God damn, such a good wingman. God. Take it one for the team. What are you? I love this girl, and you're like her surrogate dad or something, right? I hope you can accept me as your future son-in-law. God, I love him. Leon, come on! No, never! She can find someone way better than this. Aw, that hurts, bro. Who might that be then, Ilio? Maybe Zephora? Oh, Zephora, God, yeah. How about Pashalia? Do Ion or Ginia live up to your standards? Ugh. Oh, I know. What about Prince Calivis? He's a royal, so y'all could live real comfortably if he falls for... Shut up! I ain't gonna accept anyone! We're going now, Spacey! Raising his voice, Relita grabbed my hand and dragged me out of the pub. I'm not going to accept anyone. Yeah, because no one's good enough. Except for you. Because you can't admit you're in love with me, too. Oh, I love it. Oh! Best Wingman Award goes to Leon. Take it easy, Relita! Relita was stomping his feet in stormy silence after we left Cheers, his hand still firmly grasping mine. He looked angry, unapproachable. I like it, though he's mad because he's jealous. Leon was just joking, you know. He didn't mean... At last he turned to face me. This is where you get so angry and jealous you slam me against a wall and kiss me. Right? Look, someone's got to pin me to a wall here. No, he wouldn't mind if he kissed you for a joke. His eyes, alight with rage, pinned me in place. No, actually pinned me in place. Eyes pinning me in place is good, but I need the physically pinning me in place to make it perfect. Be more careful, would you? The next time he comes onto you like just suck him and run. Relita released my hand as he said so. Listen, I'm your family. I'm just worried about you. If anything happened to you, it'd be too late for me to step in. Family. I fell silent when I heard that word. A thick, thorny vine of a word that bound and wounded me. I didn't want to deny the familial relationship we'd built. At the same time, I'd expected something more. The thing is, family comes in all different flavors, and just because he says family doesn't mean you can't be like a found family. Like this whole entire game is found family, but your found family is also your romantic partner because they become your family. You build a family with them. So I'm just saying, family doesn't have to be a bad word, but in this sense, I know what she's thinking, so. Seemingly taking my silence in a different way, Relita hastened to clarify. Oh, don't worry. It ain't like I'm opposed to you dating, Kate. I just want you to have a normal, happy life, you know. Not falling in love like normal. Spending ordinary days with your friends and family. I only stopped you because Leon's such a flippin' guy. I'll give you my support if you fall in love with the right person. The great Relita's got your back. He was trying to cheer me up, but it had the completely opposite effect. I don't need your support! I do love someone. I like that answer, because then he's going to be like, wait, what? But I don't need your support is so... I feel like right now that's the angsty answer, but I really hope it's not. But at the same time, I could see that being the answer because I don't need your support, like because we're angry and we push him away and that's going to cause a little more drama. And I feel like saying, I do love someone, revealing it right now, I don't know if that's good, but I do love someone. And then he's like, oh, good. And we're like, I'm not ready to talk about it. And then then all of a sudden it starts weighing on him and he's like, wait, you are in love with someone and I don't like that. It's not about them being good enough. It's the fact that I don't want anyone to take you. And that might put that little seed in him, you know? I would say I do love someone because of that, you know? Oh, good. Okay. I do love someone. Oh, you do? Oh, damn, I didn't notice at all. Like, see? Yeah, it's gonna put that little seed inside of him that's gonna fester. Ooh, good. Oh, is it? That must be someone I know. But don't tell me, is it one of the circus guys? Yep, you could say we're especially close. Really? In fact, he's standing right in front of me. We didn't just reveal we love Rady right this second. I thought we were gonna let it fester and be like, I don't feel like talking about it. And shit! I didn't think the confession was gonna straight. Oh my god! What the fuck? standing in front of you. I want him to know how I feel, even if it's only scratching the surface. With that in mind, I awaited his response. Oh, God. Oh, I would have run away. What are you saying, Spacey? Pretty poor excuse for a joke. Oh. Flustered, Relita laughed and looked away. That was far more painful than an outright rejection. You can't fool me. There ain't one chance in a million you'd see me that way. He denied it, smiling awkwardly. I wonder if that's like he's like, yeah, you would never see me that way. I wish you would, though. But ouch, for both of us. Not joking. I mean it. My body moved faster than my thoughts. Oh my God, are we gonna kiss him? Are we gonna pin him and kiss him? I'm okay with that too. Oh no, we just hugged him. I swooped in and embraced him on impulse. Oh! Oh! All we see is his eyes, but look at them. They're so adorable. Stop. What? Talking with Leon helped me realize how I feel. Whenever Relita was on my mind, my chest tightened and my heart thrummed hot. Now I could put a name to that rich emotion. I love you. Oh, hold on a sec. I know you don't see me that way, but... Tightening my arms around him, I mustered up the courage to ask. Can you try to see me as a partner? Not as a family member or as a child. No need to do it right away. You could take your time. I was wondering when it zoomed in on her again if it was gonna I'm like, is he gonna actually embrace us back? Oh! Calm down a little bit, Spacey. He stroked my hair as if trying to soothe an anxious child. Sorry for not taking it seriously before. I think you've got the wrong idea, though. Oh. I mean, you knew it wasn't gonna, I'm surprised we confessed right away. You know the romance is gonna build, but it's gonna build with angst! What do you mean? Oh, your environment suddenly changed and you learned I can transform into a human. You must be confused after everything that's happened. You're mistaken whatever you're feeling is love, because we're joined at the hip. He pulled away from me, warm and gentle as ever. His kindness made it even more painful. My confession hadn't moved his heart at all. I'm wondering if it actually did, though, and that he's just like, yeah, there's no way these are real feelings, and I don't want to get my own hopes up. Oh. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear anything, so go cool your head. I'm sure you'll realize you lost yourself for a moment once you... No, I won't! Sick of his coaxing, I pushed him away. I've only just realized I'm in love with you. You can't even let me have that. I'm not telling you to reciprocate my feelings. I just want you to see me as a potential partner. Is it really that hard for you? Was I such a child in his eyes that I couldn't even have the tiniest sliver of hope? I can't, Spacey. You deserve someone better. You're better off with a human man, who can give you a normal, happy life. So you're not worthy because you're Fae? That's ridiculous! There are humans who have married Fae beasts out there. You don't know anything. Huh? Look, I don't want to date anyone. I doubt I even could. I don't have the right. That's impossible for me. And this is where all of his self-doubts and everything. Oh, sweetie! What do you mean impossible? I ain't normal. I can't give you some happily ever after. That's a lie. This game is just happily ever after fluff. His lips quirked up in a pained, tired smile. I appreciate your feelings. I really do. He narrowed his eyes, stricken with sorrow as he rejected me once again. I'm begging you, don't ask for anything more. My heart felt like lead as his strained voice reached my ears. Relita can never return my feelings. Now that he'd drawn such a hard line between us, I had no choice but to give up. Fine. Sorry for burdening you. Pretend I didn't say anything. It might take me some time, but I'll try to act normal. Thanks. Oh, this is so heartbreaking. You know we're gonna fall in love with him, but it hurts so bad, guys! God, it hurts! Oh! I still love this, though. The next day, the other circus members and I went to the palace to meet with Prince Calivis.
His Highness will be here in a sec. Remember to behave yourselves, all right?
Hope we can become great buds and have a blast on our trip. You're too frivolous. How about you use your last brain cell to think about the risks of traveling with a prince? You're such a worrywart. And no need to overcomplicate things. We'll be alright. Alright, my ass. Do you know who we're dealing with here, airhead? The prince. Can't believe Zephora said my ass. I love it. I understand your concern, but His Majesty entrusted us with this task. All we can do is handle this mission with care. Where is Rady, by the way? I haven't seen him anywhere. He's got some nerve to show up late, but that furball's laid up in bed with a hangover or something. Just as the two had said, Relita was the only one absent in the anteroom. He said he'd allow me to go on this trip when we got back to Liber yesterday, but he never mentioned anything about coming along. Is he staying out of it to put some distance between us? In that case, I never should have told him how I felt. Did he say anything to you? Like that he'd be late or whatever? Nope, not at all. Honestly, I think Relita, before I could add might not be coming. Sorry I'm late. I took some time to get ready. No prob. Everyone's here now. For a second there, I thought you wouldn't be coming with us. No way, dude. I haven't tasted all the booze in the Major Five. Relita played it off, bantering with the other members. Surprised, I struck up a question in hushed tones. You really joining? Well, with everything that's going on, I was wondering whether I should go or not. Understandable. Well, then again, as your family, I can't help but worry about you traveling without me. Figured I'd tag along. Knowing Relita would always protect me solely because I was family was heart-wrenching. I forced a smile to hide my inner tempest. Thanks for your concern, Relita, but don't drink too much, okay? Yeah. So you say every day. It's normal to care about family, right? If that's what he wants, then I'll oblige. Doubt we can immediately go back to how we used to be, though. Hope this trip helps take my mind off things. Oh, it hurts. You're all here, I see. Celeste came into the room shortly after. Ugh, our other fucking side bitch. Side bitches in this are so good! Prince Calivis hid behind him.
Alright, introduce yourselves one by one.
Each time one of us did self-introduction, Calivis gave a little dip of his head. He mumbled a reply I could barely hear. His heart was frozen for 10 years. It's only natural he'd be spooked to see so many new people at once.
Alright, last one is Rady.
Right, since we're introducing ourselves, we should use this chance to let the others know his real name. You should tell them. Oh, we haven't told them yet! Okay. Reading my thoughts, Relita nodded. I was like, it's funny we skipped over that. It's because we waited till his route.
Hello. The name's Relita.
Relita?
That's a long story, but Relita's my real name. I wanted to take this chance to tell you guys about it. You can still call me Rady if it's too confusing, though.
Rady's easy enough to say, but Relita's your birth name, right? I'm gonna call you that, then. Good point. I'll do the same. Relita, huh? Doesn't sound like a pet's name. Well, it suits you enough that I don't mind using it. Relita. Alright, it's a nice name. Easy to pronounce, too. Thank you for telling us your real name. May we have a safe journey ahead, Relita. Relita rubbed his neck shyly at everyone's warm acceptance. Oh, and he's blushing.
Oh, yeah. My bad, Calivis. I made this all about me when we're supposed to be having a meeting. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you, too.
Now let's end the introductions here. Oh, right. His Highness asked us to discard formality and treat him as a friend.
The researcher said treating him as such would have a positive impact on his heart. Also, as His Highness's wish, there's no need to address him by title during your travels. Celeste was clearly reluctant to say so. It made sense given how much he adored the prince. I love how he's a Prince stan girl. Got it. Let's be friends, Calivis.
Yeah.
I'd crouched down to speak on his level, but he merely answered in a small voice and scurried back behind Aleste.
I'm planning to hold our first show in Kalita, since it's not that far from here. His Highness just recently recovered. He's still unaccustomed to travel.
Are we leaving now? We should be able to make it there before the day's out. Yes, we're all set to go. I need to speak with Ginny and Relita first, though, so give us a moment.
Me?
It's somewhat complicated, but it shouldn't take long. The rest of you head to the carriage and do not be rude to His Highness. Okay, then. It's interesting that now, because it's usually like with Ion or with Sephora or whatever, but now it's Rady. I nodded awkwardly as Aleste kicked us out. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
His tiny fingers gripped my proffered hand. However, his gaze was fixed on Relita. Is something bothering you?
I feel a strange presence coming from Relita.
Maybe because he's a Fae beast?
Is? But it seems different.
Okay! Right here! Rady being like, we can't date, I could probably never love it, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, alright, there's something going on. And now Calivis is like, he's not like other Fae. They're like, alright. What are you doing? Hurry up and get going already.
Curious. I'm sure they'll tell us later if it has anything to do with us.
Relita, Aleste, and Ginny, huh? Bet they're just discussing our meals for the trip. Look at Vilio. This is what we need. We need this idiot. I love him so much. Where did that come from? If anything, they should be talking about that with Ion. Sephora's right. I don't think it's about our meals.
You can cook, Ion?
Yes, I know a thing or two about cooking, though I'm not as adept as the palace chefs. Ion's cooking's real tasty. Just wait till you try it.
And you can always ask him to leave out any food you don't like. Do you have any, Calivis?
You're being a bad influence. I never did follow up on Calivis's peculiar feelings toward Relita. Instead, I passively listened to their chat. Perfect time, so we'll find out. Woo! That's the Rady secret! Whatever it is. You know, kind of curious, but we got plenty of time to figure it out. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.